Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 2. I think I might actually be getting sick, but that is irrelevant mostly. Bit of an update because it has been quite a few turns. You can see by the turn number down here. For those of you watching the videos, that's how you'll keep track of how much time has passed, but not really a whole lot has happened battle-wise. I haven't fought any battles at all. Well, I've auto-battled, but I haven't done any battles myself, that's why I haven't recorded. But down here we've cleaned up. We got rid of this guy's main stack. I declared war on him, got rid of his main stack. Killed the greenskins that were over here, top knots or whatever that spawned over here. The dwarves took that, which I don't care. I was kind of hoping they would take that anyway. And I have been destroying Tilia, so... As you can see, we own Skaven Blight, we own most of the Tilian territory. This is the only thing left, and it will not last long. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, this army here has suffered some damage.
I'll get on it.
Rather unfortunately so, in fact. I'd like you to move over here if possible. That's good enough. I just want them closer to this army, because we have to fight that army to do anything. And we're gonna auto this. I could have lightning strike to that, but... Which would have just meant me versus the general of the Empire, apparently. Whatever this dude's name is. But it let me fight the people inside the town without fighting the town itself, which makes it obviously much easier, so... March this army over here, we're gonna auto battle this as well. This is basically what I've been doing, because Tilly is quite weak. But we haven't really had to worry about much of anything there. So, province secured. Hooray! Grudge aborted, faction destroyed. Bunch of talismans. Set this to tax rate like I always do. So, apart from that, we have access to the Cult of Pleasure diplomacy. So that's good.
So time is of the essence.
And we have learned via the diplomacy screen here that Cult of Pleasure does not own the entire island. In fact, it looks like the High Elves probably still actually exist. Now, it's not too happy over here. God damn it, I hate how it does that.
I grow impatient of these constant interruptions.
They still own this gate, which doesn't mean anything because it's cut off, but gates are usually pretty hard to take on this island. They're pretty easy to defend. And he owns the inner wall here. I don't know what to call it. The inner mountain range part over here, and then obviously this is his capital province, so. But Cult of Pleasure does not own all of that. There's an unknown faction here that Cult of Pleasure doesn't seem to hate, or it could just be an empty province. And a faction here that they seem to hate. Now, who that is, I have no idea, because I think Naggaroth also hates them. Yes. And they're only at war with Hexodal. Which implies that it could be them. They appear to have spread to the south here, so Clan Septic is probably not too happy down here in the south. But it could be the Lizardmen, but that's pretty far north for the Lizardmen. Kind of surprises me. I want a trade agreement with this lady, but she hates me, which is fair enough, because, you know, I'm a dwarf and she's a dark elf. Naggaroth still doesn't really like me, but they are positive despite the negative 70 that we're always going to have. There's no way around aversion or great power. Well, there is actually a way around great power if you use a mod to remove it, but in the base game itself, there's no way around that. It's just a constant factor. The main chaos forces are weak. There's those two there, which are trash armies at this point. They've been getting pummeled slowly. There's this one here, which keeps getting attacked by this Chaos Rebel uprising, and I'm really not quite sure why they've decided to do that, but considering it's, you know, the Empire, whoever this is, it's their rebellion, but it's fighting the Chaos, so I'm not really sure why. There's a Chaos Warherd here, which is quite weak, and then this one here, which is also quite weak, but is almost a full stack, but it's really of no relevance. This army is finished building, it's moving north. This army will move north as soon as it's done. It's 4 more turns. And I originally said I wasn't going to take any provinces up here, Notice how the dwarves are basically the front line. But I needed somewhere to park myself and deal with my units because, as you can see, we have some difficulties up here. This army is almost ruined. I could merge them and then recruit, but you can see my global recruitment's a bit busy. 12 turns just to get this guy back. So I took these, which is partially why we're missing some units, but it didn't take too many units out of the army. A lot of losses were actually just from fighting right before taking these, but I decided to take these, and in both of these we're going to put the, well, I guess we have to put ports first. That's unfortunate. I was going to put the growth building, because the growth building, if I can find one, here it is, provides casualty replenishment rate as well, so that would help the armies get back. In the south, we are cleaning up. I'm not cleaning up. The Empire is cleaning up. You can see they have armies fucking everywhere over here. This is the only scaling province left down here. It's quite large. It's called the Wasteland. Kind of gives that away, but this is the only one left down here, and then it has most of the scaling military force, actually, because I killed what was up here for the most part. There's probably an army or two wandering around or being built up here. Varg is primarily attacking Bay of Blades over here, which has this dwarven army, which will eventually probably fall. Our dwarven friends up here were killed by Varg, as you can see. Unfortunately, we've lost Krakadrak. Take that back eventually. And all of these provinces that are currently marked as ruins are actually Clan Moulder, who normally just live in Hell Pit, but they've been unleashed upon the world. So I believe I have a non-aggression pact with them. I do not.
Turn you into a clan rat where you stand.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. But anyway, they are Skaven, so we can basically do whatever the hell we want if we just beat them in fights a little bit. This province is still completely uncontrolled. It's probably Skaven at this point, I'm not actually sure, I haven't checked. Maybe I should. I kind of wanted this guy to take it, because he's more or less acting as my buffer here from the Chaos, because he gets attacked by the Chaos, so does the Empire. And usually weakens them or deals with them entirely. So the game plan here is we're going to completely ignore this army, probably. We'll probably start recruiting, and I'll hate him for it, but hopefully this guy deals with them. Is he at war with them? He should be. He is. We're going to ignore that guy. We're going to take these 3 armies and probably go this way. Well, I'm not sure, actually. So the problem here is the Lizardmen are a decent target. They own a lot of land. They're spread real thin. We could push in from this side, deal with the Clan Septic down here, and kill the Lizardmen and push up. But I feel like that would probably upset these dudes over here. They do really quite like me, apparently. So maybe that won't be too bad of a deal. This dude doesn't like me, but... I mean, he does like me and it's deteriorating, but he won't take a military alliance or anything, so I don't think I can really do much except just pay him money to like me, more or less. So I think maybe we will take those 3 armies across the straits here over to probably the Vampire Coast. We'll have to see what's over here once we get here. If the vampires are still alive, I'll definitely do Vampire Coast or wherever the vampires are. I don't really know. Because that's just an easy thing to go after. No one likes the vampires except for occasionally other vampires, but even then, not all the time. I'll probably put these 2 armies over there as well, but we'll see. This army, actually, you. Come back. That lag. This army and this army are going to fight the Wood Elves, along with the Bretonnians here who are coming in from the north. They've basically been at a standstill for like 30 turns. But we're going to bring our armies in here, see what we can do. I really just want the Oak of Ages. The rest of this I don't care about. Primarily because I don't actually know what the Oak of Ages gives us. having said that, there could be some special buildings that we as dwarves can build here. I have no idea. King's Glade I probably want as well. King's Glade is its own territory. All of these are, actually maybe we want all these. All of these are their own territories and they're all surprisingly 12 slot cities. I think it's 12 slot, isn't it? Yeah. Which are huge cities. In fact, let's go over to, I think our biggest city is this one, Cherokee Peaks. That's still only 8. That one's 8. Is that really just our biggest is 8 slot? Excuse me. What could clan, here we go. This one is 10 slot, Skaven Blight. I think that's probably gonna be our biggest is 10 slot. There's another 10 slot one. And every town in here is 12. Except for Oak of Ages, obviously, which is just 1. It's a tree, you don't really do anything with it. So maybe we will end up taking these. The downside is the extreme construction cost and the loss of income from any buildings we put here. The loss of growth, construction time. It'd be very bad to build there, but I'm actually curious if there's anything we can build in there. But anyway, that's the gist of what's going on. I'm gonna try and get these guys replenished if we can, and then continue moving north. Probably just gonna sweep this way. Well, actually, no. Yeah, we probably should. This province is relatively safe, this one here, because they have to go through either the Bay of Blades or Ice Drake Fjord. And at worst, they'll probably go through Bay of Blades. But we'll see. Anyway, there's your update. You know what? Let's go ahead and go across the ocean now, actually. Is there any way we can get across here without horrific attrition? The answer is probably no. So this is going to be a bit interesting once we get over there, but sort these guys out to minimize the attrition as best we can. But we're going to move those guys across. Let's grab this dude. Just one of these dudes, actually. This guy right here.
Summon me if you dare.
And we're going to do basically the same thing with him. I don't actually know the safest way to get over here. It's probably this little gap here. Other than that, maybe... I mean, the safest way probably is going from here to here and then just kind of traveling the coast, but that takes like 85 decades, so... I think we're just going to have to suffer the crazy attrition over here and use a bunch of stacks to get over that. Depending on what's, you know, over there to fight and all that jazz. This army appears to have lost dudes at some point. What has he lost? His melee. He lost 2 Longbeards, 2 Ironbreakers. Unfortunately, there's no things to build over here. I'm not going to use Global for him. I'm just going to have to move him back somewhere to recruit because Global's like 20 turns behind now, so... We can't really do that. What was I doing with this dude? Give him more leadership. Why the heck not? What about you? I need you to have Rally. His Rally is very powerful. Anyway, I will see you guys when there's another update, which will probably be when we declare war on the Wood Elves. Get them out of here, I suppose. The North is just a mess. The North will always be just a mess, unfortunately. So, I can't cross the ocean here. That's too much. It would take, I think, maybe at minimum 2 turns of attrition, but it's why I pulled back. The amount of attrition you take in the process of that, I should have picked that up. It was taking, it would have probably ended up with my armies being maybe like a 10th of the health on like every unit across every army, just to get across that water. So what we're gonna have to do here, why are we suffering attrition here? Storms. Apparently there's a storm here. Who can tell? Anyway, we're gonna pull our armies back and we're actually gonna do the very roundabout method where we go across here, because this should limit the amount of attrition we have. I think we should only have attrition. Is that all reefs? No, shallow seas. So we should only have attrition in a small area, yeah, right there, where it's deeper water. And I think we can cross that much space in a single turn. But we'll have to do... The downside is we have to get these armies from here up there. In order to do that without suffering attrition, we would have to do something like this and then wrap around. So I'm gonna see what we can do here. We'll probably have to do this. In terms of speed, I think this is probably going to be the best bet without suffering too much attrition. And then left from there. But that's a lot of turns. We'll see what happens as we move stuff. Dwarves are moving north. Nothing's really happening on my front. I'm still sitting here waiting for stuff to build so I can replenish. This guy will be done in 2 turns, so he will move north. But for now, we're going to take these flamethrowers into the forest and fight some wood elves. So we're going to declare war. We are going to ask all of our allies to join. There's a bunch of unreliable people here, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. We're going to ask them all to join. They join if they want. They don't have to. It doesn't matter. But we're going to go ahead and encircle. We do suffer attrition in here. We're dwarves. We're not built for forests, so we will have to bear that in mind. Why can't I move like anywhere over here? What is this? Will it pull him into the fight? It will. Okay. I just wanted him over here to minimize our auto battle, because that's what we're going to do. Let us occupy it and see what's going on here. Of course, we will secure every one of these provinces. Let's lower our construction cost, probably. Yeah. And let's see what we can build. Just the normal stuff, okay? But we could build literally everything in this province, I think. So hold on. What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count. We have 8 things. That's literally every building that the dwarves are capable of constructing can be built in every one of these provinces. Assuming there's not a special building in them.
Master of runecraft.
That's a bit crazy. If he stays here, he will suffer attrition, so we're going to do a bit of a cheaty thing and just force march him over there. He's close, but not in that. These dudes have sieged this. So we're going to go for the internal forest area, let him take that, assuming he doesn't get attacked. This army is making its way across so that it can replenish its missing troops. And that's about it. Basically just wanted to bring you guys back in to let you know that we are in fact declaring war on the Wood Elves, and the Wood Elves should now be at war with basically everyone. Not everyone. Yeah, they are.
Shield of Athelloren.
Because some people didn't take the war. Dwarves took it. Despite apparently liking them, the dwarves actually took that war request, which is interesting. Somebody didn't, though. It's the Border Princes? No.
So?
I don't know who it was. Lizardmen? They took it. I don't know. It looked like on that list that somebody didn't take it. Maybe everyone did. But they're at war with everybody now, as you can see by this long list of things in the at war enemy category. Their strength rank 4, which is quite high. But I'm 1 and dwarves are 2, I think. Yeah, only just barely behind me. The dwarves are crazy strong. And you can see how far behind 4 is. So. Wouldn't be too bad of a war. They are condensed. so their military power is here, but shouldn't be too bad. They do have the capability of jumping across here into this territory and taking those, which will be a pain to deal with if they do.
Time for a reckoning.
Have to deal with it as it comes. We do have quite the grudge problem, though. Probably Kislev, yeah. And the Warriors of Chaos up here that I'm not dealing with. That stuff will be dealt with soon, hopefully, like, real soon. But it'll be dealt with this army, so 2 turns they'll march up here. I'll have them raid Kislev for a turn. I don't want to make these dudes really angry, but we have to do it. Hopefully they lose that province, actually. That'd make it easier. There's a warherd somewhere. There it is. Doing literally nothing, but it is there nonetheless. So we took the tree. I was expecting a fancy fight for it, but I realized it's not actually a settlement, it's just a tree. And it doesn't have a special map, so at least it didn't seem to have a special map. But anyway, the tree gives us 100% income from all buildings, which counteracts this. Where is it? Income from all buildings minus 50%. I mean, obviously it would be better if, you know, we actually liked living here. For instance, Bretonia probably has this as an unpleasant climate, but not uninhabitable. So it'd be really good for them, but we're taking it now just simply because of this, but it also makes us immune to attrition within the force and gives all provinces +5 extra growth, which for dwarves isn't much because dwarves don't have a whole lot of growth to begin with, but it is better than nothing, so wanted to point that out. The north is not going too well. As you can see, this is occurring over here, so this will all probably turn into Skaven stuff at some point, but these Chaos armies, despite being really weak, are moving. Kislev is neutral, so I'm just going to go siege that, or raid that when we get up there, but this army's going up there. It's got flame cannons. Don't know how useful they are, but we're going to try them anyway. Apart from that, we have this random army over here. I don't really know why it exists, but it does. There's a Chaos Warherd somewhere, unless it got killed, which is possible. My armies are on the move. I like the Dwarven boats, by the way. They look nice. We're on the move. We're going to make our way this way and then cross over here. Probably grab that on the way if we can. We'll see. You suffer attrition to pick this up, so probably suffer attrition to pick it up. But this army's over here. It's going to do some scouting for us to tell us what's going on this half of the world, if it's worth investing in, mostly. This place got sacked. The army in it was killed.
What do you want?
So unfortunately, it is no more. That was the army that was recruiting, that had basically nothing left in it, so it's not surprising that it got killed. This is not a good army. So we could easily take it down if we have a proper army up here. He is rebuilding his military because he lost to the south. He's rebuilding his military in basically every province, so it's a thing. The dwarves have brought another army up here. They have 3 armies. 2 of them are basically shattered. That one just has a gyrocopter and some special units. This one's almost shattered as well, but they're up here. They're trying their darndest. At some point, we're going to have to kill the Skaven up here and help it, because we have to control help it in some manner. And to be honest, that's a dwarven home if ever there was one right there. Whoop. I mean, actually it's not. It's a Skaven hell pit. I mean, it's called hell pit. You really don't want to live there, but anyway, that's the gist of it. Next turn, this guy will be done recruiting. The turn after that, this guy will be done recruiting, so they'll be good to go. And then we'll take these 2 provinces probably in rapid succession.
Is the taint of chaos upon you?
This army is really weird, and I'm not sure what's going on with it, but this is basically all of his special units stuffed into one army. I know my armies should really have special units. Specifically, they should have...
What do you want?
I guess he died. Should have been in that army. Maybe he's this army? Oh, that's the weird army. I have an army here somewhere with one. There he is. No. Is it him?
Let us begin.
Oh, it's this guy. We really should have these dudes in our armies because they make your ranged units so much better. Like, look at the buff to missile damage and ammunition that these rangers have from him being in the army. So 3259. Let's look at
For the wisdom of the
we don't have any rangers on any of these other armies down here. God dang it. I forgot how old those armies are. These guys down here, they got 28 and 46.
Lord of the Angrund.
3259. You can see the slight difference in quality there. But he also buffs your artillery pieces too, including their range, which is huge. So those are really good units that I should have in basically all of my armies. I realize that. I don't have them in all of my armies, and I really should be doing that, but we'll see if it even matters. Once we get rid of these factions up here, if we can even hold this territory, that's really the important part, because there's going to be a lot of Chaos Rebel uprisings up here, even when it is secured, because the corruption is absurd up here. If I can secure a good province up here, Ice Strait Fjord would have been a fantastic one to secure. We'll have to see if we can do it. At least for a starting point. If I can secure a good province up here, like for instance this middle one, I guess this is actually that province up here, which is pretty good. We can build a Slayer building, because that gives Untainted to nearby neighboring provinces, which for this province would be basically everything up here. It'd be this one, and this one are all neighboring provinces. So huge chunk of land that we could push Untainted to help the AI try and control just by taking over this little territory here. And then at some point we'll probably personally control Hell Pit at some point. Hell Pit is its own province. It's a single thing, everything hanging out, doing its deal. But anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. The north's not looking too good, but once the Wood Elves are done, we're going to have a lot of extra military power to push north. We are going to rebuild that army and then probably build another one. If we can build an army down here, that would be fantastic, but I don't think we can. We'd have to split build it somewhere else, and that's kind of... Or we could do global recruitment. Really know if that's worth it. We'll see. We'll probably recruit an army in our capital over here instead of up here. Maybe up there. We'll see. We'll recruit an army and then another army to put down south. And the army in the south is just going to be a defensive army. We might want two down here, but there are other factions down here that will theoretically help me when the chaos spawn down here. So the real problem is the naval chaos invasion spawns over here too. So there's technically double stack, which is kind of annoying. Anyway, that's what's going on. I'll see you guys when there's another update. Alright, just a quick little update here in the middle of eating lunch, but something someone in the comments will probably have already mentioned is we, because we are not Wood Elves, do not actually get access, as far as I'm aware, to all 12 of these slots. Which is unfortunate, because I really wanted to build just every building here. We are limited to 5 construction slots. Unless it just unlocks all of them when we hit this final tier. I don't know, I highly doubt it. It will take a bit to get there though, because you need a crazy population surplus to actually reach that point. But it says grants 5 construction slots, but these say they will unlock when the main settlement chain building reaches level 5. I don't think that's true. I think it is actually limited to Wood Elves being allowed to have 12 slots in these, which is unfortunate, but sort of to be expected, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and update that. Someone in the comments probably already mentioned that and thought I was an idiot. But, you know, I am an idiot. How's it going? Well, here we are, turn 207. Not far since the last update. Chaos has returned. It's basically just going to be a permanent factor until we get some of this secured over here. The north is a bit of a mess, but it's a good bit of a mess. Because as you can see, there's quite a lot of blue in the middle of all this red over here. Excuse me. About choked on my own spit there. Sorry about that. Probably edit that out. If I don't, oh well, whatever. Welcome to my channel. I have two... Good God, what missile damage on that. I have two armies over here that are gonna go across here again and take Ice Drake Fjord. We'll probably end up taking Longship Graveyard as well, but I'm uncertain. It doesn't really matter to me. The dwarves are essentially marching their armies just through the central spine here, killing everything they wander across. There is an army behind them that did take this, the Bay of Blades, from them. They had it for like a turn, but you know, whatever. Apart from that, they've also got something going off over here. I don't really know what happened there, because I never saw an army over there, but there apparently was one from this faction. Middenland. It's not going to survive though. Hunters are up here. There's a chaos uprising that's kind of just brewing over there. I think it should be active. It's apparently not, because it's not dropping the happiness, so it's not active yet. Although it might just be waiting a turn. I don't really know what it's doing. But we're gonna jump across there, take that, build the, as soon as we can, we'll build the structure, if we can anyway. That'll spread untainted through this area to help counteract some of the badness up there. But we have a problem. The Chaos are back, like I mentioned. One of the northern stacks, the Warriors of Chaos stacks, has taken over this war herd that was down here. I believe it was a war herd. They got random miscellaneous units, but they also got this dude. Harold Caraxus has taken it over. So we need to somehow deal with that. I don't have an army over here ready to deal with that, but he is perfectly capable of recruiting units. I don't know if he will, but he probably will. He can't take that province because it's pretty well defended. At least he shouldn't be able to. But there should be at least 3 other Chaos armies up here. Probably some war herds as well. Although we can't see war herds most of the time because they are stealthy. But there's also these 4 down here. Exactly the same army compositions as what showed up before. And there should be an additional 4 over here. I am currently just exploring mostly. I'm trying to find the other faction that's down here. But I'm also moving these armies up this way. Missing one? Oh no, they're there. Couldn't see it. I'm moving these armies up this way. This is a suitable climate up here at the shrine. Shrine's not very good. Go ahead and admit that now. It's not very good. It's just a single crappy, you know, four building province, but we can try and use that as a base point for what we're gonna do here. You might notice the High Elves like me, and so do the Lizardmen. They like me quite a lot, in fact. So we're gonna change our game plan. I've canceled my non-aggression pact with Naggaroth, which is dangerous in and of itself. He's strength rank 2 now, so he has surpassed the dwarves. Now the reason that they are so powerful is because they do not have to deal with chaos spawns. As far as I'm aware, there might be some over there, but as far as I'm aware, chaos spawn here, and then 2 down here, and there should be 1 up here somewhere. I don't know where it spawns. The only reason I know it spawns is because of this dude. I can't hover over him and show you his name, but this is a chaos spawn that came somewhere through this great ocean. I doubt it spawns in the great ocean, but I don't know where it came from. But it exists, so there's another spawn of chaos units somewhere. It's possible it's up here at Naggaroth because they do have the Wasteland along here, which does go out into the chaos wastes. So there's probably 1 up there. There may in fact be another one down here. Who knows? It could be chaos everywhere. But I went ahead and canceled the non-aggression pact with them, and I'm going to cancel it with them now, because I should be able to. Here we go. There is, when you sign a non-aggression pact, you cannot break it for a certain number of turns or everybody on the map will hate you. I think it's like 3-5 turns. I'm not sure exactly, but you do have to wait. We're going to keep the trade agreement with him for as long as possible because that's a lot of income, as you can see. She won't take a trade agreement, and he'll probably break the trade agreement at some point just because he hates us, but it's to be expected. We can't, oh, we can trade with them. Will they take it? They will. There we go, lots of income from him now. And he will also immediately take a military alliance, which I'm going to do. Actually, what's his power rank? 15. Not that great. The reason I want to know what's down here is because he's very friendly with them. So something's going on down here. Surely all of this territory can't be Clan Pestilence, but it's possible. But I guess we'll know soon. He's at war with both of them. He does have an alliance with the High Elves, but I'm definitely going to take a military alliance with him. And we'll take military access as well. He just in general loves me. Very happy with me. But taking that military alliance still doesn't let me see what's going on down here, unfortunately. But regardless, now that I have that, the High Elves are probably...
I make no promises of aid.
A couple of turns, they'll probably be very likely to take a military alliance with me. So that's our plan. We've shifted our plan from Naggaroth. That was the original idea, was to ally with Naggaroth. But we've shifted our plan. We're going to... First, by the way, the Lizardmen own this, apparently. I don't know why, but they do. We're going to deal with Cult of Pleasure first. We're probably just going to destroy these rather than take these provinces. I don't really want to deal with them. So... we'll take this province and use it as a beachhead for replenishment and stuff, and then we'll just start raising stuff over here. Once we've probably helped out Ulthuan a lot, they're going to be the ones taking the territory behind me, hopefully anyway. We'll have to see. But once Ulthuan is pretty much secured here, we'll just jump across, because it's a really short gap on this version of the map. We can just easily jump across here and help the Lizardmen out. Again, probably not going to take any of these unless I can get like a full province, but we do need a beachhead somewhere. Maybe the Plain of Spiders. Why would you ever want to live in the Plain of Spiders? Who knows? But maybe we'll end up taking something slightly further north that uses a beachhead, if you will. But anyway, that's what's going on. Chaos are here. They're going to ruin all my plans and it's going to suck. So yeah. Alrighty, I've discovered what's going on down here in the south. A rogue army is going on down in the south.
Expect to leave.
This is not Norska, this is the Vampire Coast. You're a little bit off from Norska. But anyway, a rogue army has taken this. And they're pissing off my dudes in the south, so we're gonna have to deal with this. But they took over the Vampire Coast and somehow got over to here and are taking over the mountain range. Now, obviously the mountain range I'd like to have. There's another group of Lizardmen over here. Well, they allied with me. I didn't know they existed. Apparently they knew I existed, but we're probably going to end up going to war with these guys. I don't really want to make friends with anyone that's Norska because corruption. A lot of it. Just chaos, corruption galore. I think I'll suffer attrition everywhere over here because it's shoals, right? Or reefs. Scooch our way over there. So we're probably going to end up going to war with them. But apart from that, really not a whole lot going on, so... I was going to show you guys the state of the world, but not really a whole lot has changed. But I did want to show you guys the state of this island. Bear in mind, this is where the High Elves live, you know, the source of purity and etc, etc. Look at the chaos corruption through here. Look at it. It's ruined this entire island except for these trees right here. because I just took that back. But this entire island is ruined completely and utterly. Now, it's impossible for them to get Chaos Corruption to 100% here, so this is pretty close to the best they'll get here. 1,300 casualties. Good lord. It's very, very bad over here. The High Elves are not doing very good. They lost 2 territories at some point here. I don't think straight up that they have even remotely the military power to do anything about this. They're ranked 28. They're weaker than the Lore Masters right now. And of course, we find them. Cult of Pleasure rank 6. So Cult of Pleasure has plenty of military power to spare. However, I'm over here now, which changes things slightly. So we have 3 almost full stacks, or maybe full stacks. No, they're all full stacks, although not necessarily the greatest stacks. Because of the place over here, how this place works, we can't use the underway. There is no underway here for us to use. The underway is over here. It does not cross the ocean, as far as I'm aware anyway. There is no underway for the dwarves to use over here. There might be down here, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But for sure there's no underways anywhere on Lothern, as far as, or Avalorn, or whatever the hell this place is called, as far as I'm aware. So we're a bit limited on our mobility here, because we can't hop around real easy. We can't ignore attrition because we can't sit in the underways all day. So unfortunately, we have to deal with them. So in order to get to the Shrine of Cain, I've remembered that you have to land over here or over here. And since we're over here and this is a pretty tight territory, it's just these two and they're right next to each other, I decided we'll just take this and we'll use this as our beachhead, even though we hate this place. Apparently this is a strategic location. All of these are strategic locations. Good God. Is everything on this island a strategic location? It's obviously not true. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what was going on this island. Otherwise, the rest of the world, there's not a whole lot. I turned on floating information for character names, mostly because out of curiosity, but look at this shit over here. Look at it. There's so many armies over here. Most of them dwarven, but so many armies. Anyway, the south, chaos everywhere. That's about par for the course. Down here, I'm about to declare war on this guy. We'll take that with this one army and then figure out what the hell we're doing after that. We'll see. He shouldn't be very strong. He should probably only have maybe 2 armies. Let's find him real quick before I stop recording. He's in here somewhere. There he is.
For chaos!
He's ranked 21. So he's not particularly high strength, but that does mean he does have 1 or 2 armies somewhere around here. Where, I have no idea, because I can't see his territory because he hates me, but... you know, details. Alrighty, well, one of our units has been attacked. This is up in the north. Their army is weaker than my army. However, my army is in stance march because I was not anticipating being attacked. So, our dwarves are going to be very, very tired, which is a wee bit of an issue. We are on the defense and they do not have much cavalry. They have 2 units of missile cavalry, which shouldn't be an issue. Really, the biggest issue for dwarves is, I mean, missile cavalry is annoying, but it's only 2 of them. We can work with it. The biggest issue with dwarves is any sort of shock or regular cavalry getting into the back lines, because dwarves are very slow. They can't really effectively adjust to cavalry units moving around, so you sort of have to deal with it. Your best use case for Slayers is actually anti-cavalry. Otherwise, Slayers are remarkably weak units late game because of the fact that they have no armor compared to other Dwarven units who have lots of armor. They have none. So they're pretty weak on that front, but they're very, very good against other lightly armored units like cavalry, and they will completely decimate them, especially since they have that loose formation. But anyway, we're defending, so we're going to set up. I really like over here would be fantastic up on this hill, but obviously that's not going to happen. It's outside of our range. This is a decent-ish hill, but it's not particularly good for us. So I think what's going to end up happening is we're actually going to do the traditional thing where we go hide in the back like sissies. That's not what I meant to quite do. We're going to set it up like this. It's going to look weird at first, don't worry about it. They being chaos units are very heavily armored. But we do have armor-piercing units. Both the Longbeards and the Hammerers are armor-piercing. I'm putting them on the sides, primarily because my plan is to sort of wrap them around, but we'll have to see what's going on when we actually get to that point. We're going to take these dudes, we're going to turn off their skirmishing, because we're actually just going to manually move them back in a bit anyway. Actually don't know where I want to put these guys. I could put them way up here and early harass them, but I think we'll just put them there. And again, I'll manually move my cannons back. Now there is a way to use thunders and cannons and organ guns in the back line. It's sort of risky because it means you end up having gaps in your front line, which can work. I mean, it's perfectly valid, but basically you would have a gap in your front line about that wide, and you would put your organ gun sort of about there-ish. That keeps them from, when a unit gets charged, some units will kind of flow past them. You could even put them farther back. There's a thing in the way, but you could even put them farther back for safety, but that keeps them sort of away from stray units getting through the gap, because that's the thing that you have to worry about. I am not going to do that, mostly primarily because I'm lazy, but also we're just sort of going to set up like this for now. That should be okay. I almost forgot about you. You can just come park your butt over here. He's got super duper lungs, so he can yell really far. And we'll just go ahead and start. Gonna go ahead and move these guys over here. Actually, move them right there. That's a pretty good line, because there's, I didn't realize this was here. There's a small little cliff face they can use to slightly defend themselves from front-facing charges there, but anyway. My stuff will begin firing whenever they can. I forgot how short the range on organ guns is compared to grudge throwers, which are already coming in. The AI is going to spend a lot of time dodging stuff, which will give my artillery some extra time to fire, but it does also mean my artillery occasionally will miss horrifically and hit nothing. That shot was really good, though. Went into the middle of them, basically. Let's go ahead and adjust our angle of our dangle a little bit here, because it looks like they're coming in at a strange side. I was expecting them to come more or less straight at me, but they're not. That was my organ guns firing, by the way. Very, very effective artillery if they can get a good firing line. Because as you can see, they basically kill whatever they hit. They don't have a lot of splash damage. They don't need a lot of splash damage. That's the mage that just shot at me, by the way. Don't worry about him. He's right there, I think. No? There he is. Good old wizard. That unit's already almost rowdy. Need to get these guys ready to fall back, because they will need to retreat. And because these guys are armored, we're not going to do a ton of damage to them right off the bat. Which is to be expected, but you know, trade-offs and such. Alright, let's go ahead and begin falling our archers back, because they're going to be in range of their missile cavalry now. Which isn't great, but you know. I'm falling back at an angle so that my organ guns can still get a firing line. It's firing at a strange angle there, but that's okay. Now, in theory, they shouldn't charge me. Charge my organ guns. I mean, they can. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. Necessarily. They'll get murdered by these guys. But in theory, they won't charge my organ guns, so I'm not going to move them yet. They should stop, yeah. It's just how they work. You, however, will definitely charge my organ guns if given the chance. Look at that speed bonus, good lord. I'm about to blow up a lot of my own units. I could see that coming from a mile away. Just basically blew up half a unit of archers. That's okay though. About to blow up the other half. There you go. Good job. I swear to God. Sometimes I wonder about my tactical planning. Alright, so hopefully the middle guy's gonna have to go somewhere else. Probably. Send them over here. Hopefully they still have time to move. They should. I will have to move my archers a second time, but I wanted them to stop over here and try and get a firing line off. Artillery pieces will not move if they are reloading, I think. But you do have to be aware of that. Have you selected? I do. You're just mostly dead. That's okay. Alright, time to move these guys in. They're probably gonna actually get caught out here. We might be able to just force them to do this. Oh, hey. I forgot there's a wizard. Welcome to wizards, I guess. Rather unfortunately. Anyway, my archers got through, we're good. Most of their army's actually already leaving, probably because the Ironbreakers just blew up everything over here. Yep, we won. Good game, I guess. My Ironbreakers threw all their stuff and murdered everyone. I may have shot my own dudes in the back of the head, I don't know. Look at the range on these archers, I love it. I actually want this unit dead if we can get it, but I don't think we will be able to. I'll try, darn it. Yeah, he's out of range. Anyway, that battle was pretty easy. Now you know why I like Ironbreakers, but also the risk of Ironbreakers. Ironbreakers can very easily kill your own units, so you do need to be wary of that. I could have told them to not fire on that guy by telling them not to use their ranged weapon. But it did kill their leader basically instantaneously. It did cost me half of a ranged unit, but, you know, details. This is the problem with fighting Chaos, by the way, with Rangers. They don't do any damage. If you're fighting Chaos, you should really probably be using something like Thunderers, because Thunderers are armor-piercing. Or even Iron Drakes, I think is what they're called. Iron Drakes can be pretty good as well. But something like that, because they're armor-piercing and do very, very good damage to Chosen and such units, such other high-end Chaos units. But they are much less effective in a standard sort of fight system or fight setup where they're behind your front line and your front line is engaged with their front line. Because if they're behind your front line, they don't necessarily have firing angles unless you do that thing where I said about spacing with gaps and stuff like that. But even then, it's not necessarily the greatest firing line, whereas these guys can shoot over the back of them quite easily. But, you know, there's trade-offs for that. They don't have any armor damage. So, you know, ups and downs. The one Chaos spawn that's like hanging out over here a lot, they're over there, I think. They do seem to be coming from this general Naggaroth direction, but I don't know if they spawn up in Naggaroth's territory. They don't seem to be bothering them that much if they are, but we'll see, I suppose, whenever we eventually get over there. Naggaroth is very powerful. Malekith is down here murdering people, as he is wont to do, I suppose.